Hello YouTubers, this is Wolfie here. Welcome to episode number 4. In this episode I'll take you through some pretty basic redstone stuff. Now don't be afraid of this. I thought I'd show you the differences in the two buttons, the stone button, wood button, and of course the lever. And they changed since I first started playing Minecraft on the Xbox. It used to be that the wood button and the stone button operated exactly the same, and they don't anymore. The stone button has a shorter duty cycle than the wood button. And I set up a little demonstration here, and what's going to happen here when I press the button, a signal is going to be fed along this line here. This lamp will light up the entire duration that the button click happens for, and then these repeaters will show you the waveform and when it will time out. Now the stone button has a much shorter duration, and these repeaters will only light up to this point before the button unpresses, while the wood button has a much longer duration and will get all the way down here before the button unpresses. So here's the stone button. Watch the red repeaters right down here light up, and you'll see that the stone button, this one will illuminate just as the button unclicks. And take a listen. Click. Off. Okay, and the wood button, you can see it has a much longer duration. Click. Off. So as you can see, it made it all the way down. And of course, the lever is on or off. There is no duration on the lever. So when you're building devices, or especially if you're using buttons to open doors, just keep this duration in mind. The stone button has a very short duration, so that door is going to open and close fairly quickly, while the wood button has a much longer duration and the door will stay open longer. Now I've set up a couple of circuits back here, and these are, this one and this one are edge detectors. This one will detect the rising edge, and this one will detect the falling edge. And the only difference in the two is the settings on the repeaters right here. This one is on a 4-tick delay, and this one is only on 1. Whereas on this one, they're completely opposite. This one is on 1, and this one is on 4. So what's going to happen over here, when I press the button, any one of these buttons, or flip the lever, a signal is going to be fed into the edge detector, and these lights here and here are not part of the circuit, but they will show the duration of the button press or the lever. And the detector, what's going to happen, this one is going to detect the leading edge of the pulse, so when the button is actually initially pressed, and it's going to send a 1-tick pulse to this lamp. This circuit is a falling edge detector, and what it's going to do, it's not going to do anything when the button is pressed, but when the button releases itself at the end of its delay, it will send a 1-tick pulse to this lamp. So we'll come down and we'll use the stone button first, since it's the fastest. On. And you can see the lamp in the right rear comes on when you press the button, and the lamp on the left rear comes on when the button releases. Oh, my bad. Click, 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 click. And the wood button, click, click. And for the lever here, you can see when I activate the lever once, the light in the rear will pulse once, and this one over here will not pulse until I flip the lever back to the off position again. So you got a 1-tick pulse out of it, and nothing's going to happen on here until I flip the lever back to the off position. And there it went. So just a couple of quick little circuits, and it's very simple and very basic. It only requires 2 repeaters, a torch, and a couple of dust to insert into a circuit. Now these do reverse the signal, which is what's going on here. We have an inverter so that the high output here is converted back to a low output here. So if you need to mirror the signal that you have going in, you'll need an inverter on the output. So let's build one of these guys real quick. So we'll need a 2x2. This can be, of course, on the ground, but this world is covered in half slabs, so that monsters don't spawn. This block is your input block right here, and this is where you'll bring your signal into. We have a torch, 1 repeater, 2 repeaters, and then for our output, we need to bridge those 2 together. And then, like I said, if we need to mirror the input signal, we will need an inverter, which is what the torch here will do. And this is our output right here. So this would be our output line. Need a piece of redstone there. Now, like I said, the only difference between these two is the settings on the repeater. So if you need the pulse out to happen when the button is first pressed, you need to set this one for 4 ticks and this one for 1. So we'll drop a wood button on here, and you'll see you can watch the redstone here pulse. Click, and see nothing happened on the uprise. So if we change the settings, set this one to 4, oops, and this one back to 1, it reverses the output. Click, and there's your pulse when the button releases. So it's very easy to install, very lightweight in materials, and quite compact as well. You can fold this around to the side, so you can take your output off of this side, or you can take your output over here or here. It doesn't really matter, just as long as it's coming off of this piece of redstone here. You can fold this in numerous ways. Like I said, this upper block here is where your input would come in. So this would be a button on an outside wall. Actually, we don't even need that. Here's a button on an outside wall, and this could be hidden behind and drive a door circuit or something else. And there you go. So just a quick little episode this time, so enjoy.